Okay, well, so this is a quick little video on how to repair your watch if you don't know the first thing about watchmaking. So look, I've got a Blancpain Leman GMT watch, and unfortunately I've run into a little bit of a problem with it, and that is that the one of the crowns will no longer screw down, so it won't be watertight to any great degree. So look, I've just had a look at the warranty on it, and it's actually still within the factory warranty. And certainly within the 12 months warranty from the dealer that I bought it from. So what you need to do if you're going to repair a watch like this is you need a little case to put it into. I've got one from the Museo del Prado, which is quite a neat little case for travelling with an extra watch. If you don't have one of those, you could perhaps buy one of those Omega travel cases, perhaps with all the foam and stuff in them. That'd be quite good too. Anyway, you need to pack your watch into something suitable, and in the case of someone living in Sydney, you need to head into town, and so that's what I'm doing here. So what we've done is we've traversed the Warringah Freeway, leading south onto the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Here's Sydney Harbour Bridge, one of Australia's great architectural icons. There it is. Look at that magnificent copy of something over in Newcastle, which nobody's ever heard of. Anyway, so I think we're in the right lane here, number 6. You've really got to be very careful when you're driving into Sydney. You can pick the right lane, otherwise you can end up going somewhere where you really don't want to be going. Here we go. Yes, we're in the right lane. We've just been given way to by a taxi. For goodness me, that's one of the first, I think, for Sydney. And we're now heading down in towards to George Street. Now, see, I'm not an arsehole. I don't queue across intersections. But a lot of people in Sydney don't seem to believe in that anymore. Anyway, here we go. Now we're now to George Street. This is the main sort of scumbag drag in Sydney, north and south. It's about one of the few roads that actually has north and southbound traffic on it. Now, most of the chicks you'll see walking along the road here, they'll be in cut-off jeans with a packet of cigarettes stuffed underneath their t-shirt sleeve. I probably should have gone the other way, and then you would have seen all the girls in the little black dresses, their Louboutins and breast implants. But anyway, look, we didn't go that way because we wanted to get in here quickly, get this thing done and dusted, and this is the MLC Centre where I usually try to park. This is like most of Sydney's car parks. It's an absolute nightmare to try to get any sort of large vehicle through, but thankfully today I was in luck. There was a few spare spots in the private parking zone, so edged myself into that, and got out and took the watch back to Sydney Vintage Watches, where I purchased it from about 8 or 9 months ago. So look, honestly, really, horology is a two-edged sword. There's no doubt about it. There's no way that this watch is going to be able to be repaired here in Sydney. It's going to have to go back to Switzerland, which means I'm going to be without the damn thing for, I don't know, 6 to 12 weeks, I would think, at least. Maybe even longer. Who knows? Anyway, we're heading back out of MLC now, and we're about to head back home. And this is Castlereagh Street. So along here, on the left-hand side, we'll go past it fairly quickly. It's just over there on the left-hand side. Now, just behind that green light is J. Farron Price. That's the top watch store here in Sydney. That's where you'll go if you want to buy your Patek Philippe or your Jaeger-LeCoultre. And they've also got a magnificent collection of Rolexes there. I mean, they've got Rolexes there that I've never even heard of. It's absolutely phenomenal to have a look through their range. Anyway, so we're heading back along, I don't know what this fucking street's called, Market Street, I think it might be. We've got the Prada store we've just been past. and we're heading up towards Pitt Street Mall. Now it's on the right hand side down Pitt Street Mall. There we go, we've just passed it there. That's where the Strand Arcade is, and that's where Sydney Vintage Watches is located. Anyway, so we'll just head across town, looking for a street that goes north. There's a lot of one-way streets in Sydney. I find it really intimidating driving through here. So I try to make my way as quickly as possible if motorcyclists don't poke their way out obtrusively like that in the traffic. So look, weather today in Sydney pretty crappy. It's hasn't rained, but it's overcast and it's very humid at the moment. Not particularly pleasant sort of weather. I don't know why this is taking so long. I've sped this thing up 3.5 times normal speed. Anyway, here we go. We're heading back towards the bridge here. This is the route you need to take if you want to avoid the breathalyzers. They're usually right over there on the left-hand side. And we've avoided those quite nicely, even though we're not drunk today, which is unusual. And Sydney Harbour Bridge from the north, travelling south. So the bridge has got about 8 lanes on it, and there's also a couple of rail lines as well over to the left, as you can see it here. There's a train there. So Sydney Harbour Bridge was built in the 1930s. So there was when I first moved to Sydney, the toll on the bridge was 20 cents, and that was only if you were travelling from north to south. There was no toll travelling south to north, as is still the case at the moment. But I think it was about 2002 or something like that. The reason for the toll was finally paid off, and that was the cost of building the bridge in the first place. But clearly, as with all taxes, any tax that's introduced as a temporary thing never is temporary. It always becomes permanent, and it's the same with the fucking bridge toll. And now it's $3 if you want to travel from south to north. Anyway, we're hovering through. Where are we now? I think we're in Neutral Bay. There's some bloke with his shopping. We're just going to do a quick trip to Woolworths for some bread, milk, and beer. So, look, please excuse me while we pop in here. And fucking reaching that button from this car is impossible almost. Anyway, I managed to get the ticket out of that. Now, we're going to be able to find a spot to park. No, that's for blooming invalids. Nothing over there. Is this what? No, that's no good either. Here we go, there's one. Now we'll pop into that. And, so anyway, so that's pretty much been my trip into Sydney, and that's sort of my advice on amateur watch repair for horology pieces. That is, don't even try to do it yourself. Don't take it to anybody other than someone who knows exactly what they're doing with that particular piece. God knows what the local watch guy would do, with a blooming Blancpain, GMT watch with a burning alarm in it. It's just not something that you really want to consider. So look, I hope you've enjoyed this brief video on how to repair a Blancpain Leman Reveille with a screw-down crown that will no longer screw down. I hopefully will have a few more videos coming up in the next couple of days if I manage to find the energy. And thank you for watching. See you later. Bye.